Good morning, guys. Had a pretty good night last night. I woke up, I think it was once or twice, just to load the few more sticks in the stove, and that was pretty much it. Other than that, it was nice and comfortable. Blankets helped a lot, some extra blankets. I just had one coffee, now I'm gonna have another one, and then we're gonna go do something. I don't know what. I'll probably need to get more water soon. We'll have to do that. And we'll need some more firewood for tonight, so we'll get some more firewood. Fog is starting to lift. It's foggy overnight. Last I looked at the forecast, we're supposed to get rain today, so I don't know if we're going to get that or not, or if it's changed. Don't see any capelin flopping around on the beach this morning. I got it now. Oh! Spilling my coffee all over you. The game he likes to play, where he drops a stick, and then I got to step on it. Then he's got to try to pull it out from underneath my foot, and he wins it every time because he's so freaking strong. But he loves to play that game. Let's go for a little walk around the property. So we're coming up on another site here right now. Well, we almost got this site cleaned up now. Just have this debris here to get rid of. Those couple of trees that are down over there. There's a bit of a top of a tree right there that I need to pull out. And we'll get all these willows and brush out of this area, weeds. This is supposed to be a drainage area. This used to be a drainage area right here. It drains down to the beach. It helps keep that bog dry up there. So we're gonna restore that back to the way it used to be for drainage. And on the other side, there's a cabin site over there. Can't see it from here, that I've already cleaned up. And then we'll finish this one up over here. Get these few trees down. We'll use those either for logs and mill them, because these few right here are gonna have to go. Yeah, we'll either use them for timber or we'll use them for firewood. One of the two. Because I think the majority of what I'm going to use in here all around the ground anyway is going to be pressure treated, so anything off the ground can be spruce or softwood, but anything on the ground is going to be pressure treated. Well, Mr. Beacon found a squirrel. Oh, he did. Okay. I'm trying to get out the tree. Oh, that's funny. Definitely a squirrel there. So all the branches and everything I've hucked down over the edge here. And my plan is to come around and boat and take all this stuff and haul it out of here. haul it around the other side of the property and either burn it when there's no fire bans, like in the fall, or we'll wood chip it all up. That is the plan. Right, buddy? Yeah. Alright, let's continue on our walk. This one here still has a bit of work to do on it. All these weeds need to be taken down, and any of the small spruce around here need to be taken down. This is going to be a sitting area over here, and then there will be a cabin over there. All this stuff needs to be cleaned up on the ground here. Yeah, there'll be a cabin over here and a nice view of the ocean. Still some more trees in here needs to go down. Stuff that's in the way. Once the cabins are built, we'll plant in some trees into these sites. Probably some fruit trees and some maples, some oak. I want to go around and clean all the dead limbs off the bottom of these kind of trees, these spruce trees here. Yeah, this will be a little sitting area up here. A little viewing area of Gooseberry Island and Cross Island and Petticoat Island. It'll be nice. This will be a nice site. Coming up on the next site. This one is kind of up on top of a small hill. So we'll have to bring some material in for the base of that hill, just to make that grade there a little less steep coming up this hill. For a golf cart, because the cabin will be on top of this hill here. Have another nice view of Gooseberry, Cross Island, Petticoat Island, Gull Island, Jerseyman Island. I like this one. This one's up on top of a hill. So it's got a nice overview of the back part of the property as well. Gotta come in and clean all this up. All this little stuff needs to go. That'll be the next site. See, we're up on a little knob here, so we'll have to flatten this knob out a little bit more. Just walking down to the next site. I started moving some of those brush piles down yesterday. We got these two right here, this one and that one over there. Start moving them down to the big pile. This will be the next site right here. Coming into the property, technically this will be the first site. I haven't put names on these yet or what they're going to be, but there's a few more trees to move in here to get rid of. Level this out, and we'll have to level the path here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a retaining wall on this path coming in along this edge, because I don't know if you can tell in video, but it slopes down the hill here, so I might do a retaining wall. They're out of wood or something. Maybe some 6x6 retaining walls coming along there, and just kind of put them up against the trees as they're coming in, and then take out the stumps and stuff here, and then put in some gravel coming in here, and then gravel this whole area in here, clean it all up, gravel it. That'll be good for that site. There's quite a decent sized drop along these cliffs, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out some way of barricading these or fencing them. We'll figure something out for that. These cabins are technically cliffside cabins. Grass is super long right now, and it's got a ton of grass seed on it, so that's awesome, especially in this upper field. Okay, let's head to the next site. Okay, we're just coming up the trail here to the next site. All these trails are going to be redone properly, so they're graveled and paved for golf carts. So this is going to be a site right here. This spot right here will be a cabin. It'll have a nice view of the ocean and Gooseberry Island from here. You can see a nice view out there. And lots of blueberries around it. This whole area is full of blueberries and all kinds of nice natural flowers that bloom here. Even some tea leaves. Nice flowering trees there, which we'll put in a few more back here. Those are nice. So that's that site. Not too much prep work in there. Bit of groundwork to level it out in here, and that's about it. The next site is not too far away, so here, and then we'll have another site in here. This area needs to be cleaned up yet. Some trees taken down, but there'll be another cabin here. This one's directly off the trail. And then the next site, all this stuff's got to be cleaned up. This is all stuff I'm going to have to go through and pick out. Pull it all out and then chip it up with the wood chipper. See, there's piles here everywhere. So I thought about putting one maybe on this site right here, because this area has been logged before back here, so there wouldn't be any real trees to take down, and it would be more a backside view of the property, back of the hill and stuff, in the valley and where the moose come down. So you probably see some moose coming down through the valley there sometimes, so that might be an option too. I might put one here and make it like a cliffside cabin. That's an old man's beard there. I should take some of that for lighting the stove at night. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab some of that on the way along. So you come along this trail here, there's a beautiful view of out towards St. Joseph's, Gooseberry, Cross Island, the fjords going into Parker's Cove and Boat Harbor, Brookside. We're all there. See, we had some trees blow down over the winter. You see the base of them tipped over there. I took the biggest one for firewood, and I need to take that one that's kind of leaning up right there. That one needs to go, and then maybe this might fall into place, or it's either going to fall the other way. The stump. I'd like to pull it back, the stump, and get it back on the ground. That would be the ideal thing to do, because it's exposing all the shale rock underneath it and stuff. So it'd be nice to pull it back and have it drop into place. We gotta go around and clean up all this stuff, and all this debris, and wood chip it all up. So there's a ton of work to do. Tons of work. Get all this stuff chipped up. Got a nice birch tree right here. I've exposed that guy so it gets more sun, so it'll grow up. It was very dense around here, around the birch, so I felt like it was getting choked out as far as light getting to it. And there's one in behind it, a spruce there that cracked off that needs to come out, and that can be used for firewood. There's some dead stuff in around this stuff that I want to pull out and get rid of too as well. Some of this little stuff. Clean all this stuff up and get all the stumps out of here. Get a nice trail back here would be nice. There's another nice birch in right there. You can see him. It's a beautiful birch. Get all this debris cleared out of here. It's good to get all this stuff cleared out anyway, because it's just fuel for forest fires, so it's better to get rid of it all. That's a beautiful birch. Look at that. Gorgeous. That one's very nice. And we're coming down to the next cabin site. This will be another cliffside ocean view campsite. Lots down here to clean up. Yeah. Lots of little tiny trees down here growing. So those need to be, a lot of those need to be taken down. There's a beautiful birch right out on the end of the property, right on the cliffside. See, there's a pretty significant drop here, so we're gonna have to re-fence all this stuff. But look at that birch right there. Isn't that a nice birch? Beautiful birch, growing right out of the edge of the cliff. It's very nice. We got some stuff that's fell down that needs to be taken down yet. This stuff here blew down over this past winter. We had all that wind in the fall last year, so you can see it's all leaning over there. So that stuff needs to be taken down too as well. Some of these trees have gotten so tall to the point where the wind catches them up high and then it just pulls them over, because the top of the tree has more branches and stuff like that on it than the bottom part of the tree. So it's like a big umbrella up there, just catching it and then pulling them over, right? So they're too tall. Some of them are too tall. Like these big guys right here, these tall ones right here, they should come down because they're too tall. Anything that's like within striking distance of the cabin. I'm kind of trying to assess the tree situation as I go on each tree, how they're doing. Like I'll watch them during the windy parts of the year, and if I see the ground moving and the roots wanting to heave, then they have to come down because they're going to fall down anyway. We've got some birch back here growing that the moose have been enjoying. They're eating all the tips off of these little shits. Look at that. They're totally eating the tips off of them, but there's quite a few birch growing through here. Lots of dead stuff up there. As you can see up on the side of the hill there, there's lots of blowdown up there that could be hauled down. Lots of dead stands still. Needs to be moved. This whole side of this hill is all full of birch now. There's new birch growing, and it's right full of raspberry bushes too. So it's great for raspberries and stuff. That's the end of our little walkthrough this morning. Almost feels like we might get some rain. Just gonna do a bit of cleanup on these sites still, but we may have to hold off until the rain stops. Alright guys, so it just started to rain like probably 5 minutes ago, and now we're going to get to see where some of the failure points is as far as rain is in this in the Otter Vortex Resort. I have a good idea of where they're going to fail anyway, and it's all going to be pretty much around the windows is where it's going to fail, or the seams like this in the roof along the edges. I did notice that before these seams did get damp, like the quilted seams, but we'll see how it performs here. This, like down in the corners here, is where we're gonna get water come in along these edges here. The rain's just gonna hit the plastic, right, slide down inside of this little lip, and then it just seeps through the Velcro. And the same with this one, like this one's already leaking. See it dripping just straight through it, right? So these windows here are definitely a failure point for rain in these kind of tents. And that's got more to do with the design than anything. This should have been designed differently. Any drips over there? No, none there yet. I imagine we'll get some coming down through the stove jack and stuff. They'll probably come down in behind the blanket or behind the heat shield. But I'm gonna make a coffee and then we're gonna hang out and I'll fill you guys in on where else it fails as far as rain goes. The roof is super dry right now though. I imagine the wood heat is going to help a lot to keep any dampness off of these seams and stuff. But like all these seams, you can see light through them. So I imagine they're going to start leaking eventually because there's no seam tape on these from the outside. See that? I can already feel like there's a little bit of dampness on them. There's other places around the stitching that you can see through, little bits of light through it. If they had to put seam tape on all this from the outside, then like I can already feel, you can see a bit of dampness there. That's all it would have taken, some seam tape, and it would have fixed all that. Yeah, you can see it's starting to get damp right there. Well, we'll make our coffee and hang out, and then I'll bring you back once we get another 10 or 15 minutes of solid rain here. Alright guys, so we got our hash browns in there. We'll let those fry up and then we'll move on to our next step. Well, we're 10 or 20 minutes into the rain and got a pretty damp seam there, and it seems to be leaking right here too and dripping on Beacon. Leaking lots around the windows. Anywhere where there's a seam, it's getting damp. See, it's spreading out through the material here. I think it's leaking through here and then it spreads out through the material here. Because the rest of it over here is dry. See, anywhere where there's a seam, it's leaking. These are not dripping yet. This one isn't. It's just this one here. I think there's something going on with this in the manufacturing process because it's all bunched up right here, and I noticed it doesn't look like it was sewed properly right there. I mean, look how much light you can see through the seams though, through the thread holes, right? So some seam tape might fix that. And I notice it's dripping down here and then coming down through, dripping on the stove right there. So you just gotta wipe that up every now and again. Through the vent. So it's coming down through the seam here on the outside and then running down this hole, hitting the bottom, coming through the mesh here, and then dripping down the face of this thing, of that little flap. Around the door is pretty good. You can see a lot of light through the zippers on the door, which I think there's a way to do that better. I'm sure there is. A little bit of dampness up here above the door. Like I said, all these seams, wherever these seams are, there's going to be dampness. Around this one here too, that one's starting to drip too down to there. Hopefully it doesn't drip onto my bed. See that really plain now. I don't know if that one's going to come through or it's just going to leak outside. See what happens. Maybe it'll just run out the corners here or something. Yeah. Yeah, everywhere there's stitching. That's where she's leaking. Okay, we'll wait for another, that was about a half an hour, I guess, maybe close to an hour worth of rain this is. So the rest of it's holding up fairly good. Like I said, it's just anywhere where there's a seam, right? Or around the windows. So we'll wait for another hour or so here and I'll check back with you guys and let you know how it's doing. Well guys, the rain has slowed down and then it picked back up again, so I think I'm going to make some breakfast here, even though it's probably pretty late in the day. I don't know. What time is it? 10 after 1, so it's going to be a late lunch breakfast. Well, we got some more water dripping down out of these seams here. She's pretty leaky, considering it's a $1,200 tent. I think for $1,200 you should be able to get something that's for season that doesn't leak in rain. So, but I might have a solution for all that, for all this leaking. So we'll wait for that and see if it works. But right now we're going to get some breakfast ready. All right. Get our hash browns plated. Hash is done. Now we need to get our bologna on. Alright, need to cut up a few slices of that. Oh. This knife doesn't want to cut through this plastic very well. I'm just going to take it off. Take it right over there. There we go. Just cut it on. 4 slices of Newfie steak. I don't know why they call it Newfie steak. Nobody has a clue what's in this stuff. But it's bologna. And it tastes good. Mystery meat. Oh, here's our bologna. Cooking them in. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's get a couple of slices of homemade bread cut up. Rain has picked back up again now. It's kind of smushed on it. See if this thing will cut it. Hey, it did, worked. Sweet. Can't go wrong with homemade bread. Rusty's freaking out because there's water drops falling on him. He thinks it's a bug. That's funny. Rusty, it's just water drops. He's losing his mind. It's just water, right? Silly pup. It's just water, Roddy. It's leaking right here over his head and dropping on him. It's just water, see? It's just water dropping on you. It's just water, buddy. Silly turd. Oh, we ran out of propane. Darn it. Okay, our bologna is done. Yeah, it's our Newfie steak. Now we need to get our eggs ready to go. Okay, we got our new tank on. That's our last propane tank, and then we'll have to get some more. Whew, it is hot in here now. Open this door a bit. She's wet out there, guys. Very wet. Oh, you're on my bed, are you? Huh? What, you scared of the raindrops? The raindrops is over there too. Silly little turd. Steal my bed. It's a baby. Just a baby, you know that? Humidity's super high too. Got to keep the wood stove going too to dry it out faster. Wood stove is going nice. Time to put another log on there soon. Just to keep her topped up. There we go. That's good. Try out her hash browns. Yep, those are good. Those are my favorite hash brown. You got water dripping down off of that down into the stove. Should be fine though. I'll just go through the grates down there. Alright, we got our eggs. And these are farmed eggs. They're really good. I'm gonna have to turn the heat down a bit for these guys. Yeah, because we want those to slow cook. Rusty, come. Come. Up. And the shells. Go ahead. Eat them. Gentle. Yeah, now we'll eat it. No problem. I won't drop any. They're so strange that way. You make them want it, they'll dive right into it. Salt and pepper on those guys. Wipe this flap off here because it's dripping pretty good. Could move this thing out a tiny bit more, I think. A little drip down behind there. Not in our food, hopefully. Alright, just gotta wait for our eggs to cook and then we'll do our toast. I'd say we're getting heavy rain now, guys. Let's see if she's more wet lines through the stitching. I think it's starting here and in the seam and then spreading out, slowly spreading down the seam and spreading away from the seam in the roof. I bet a seam tape would fix all that. Not the windows. that's a different issue. She is dumping out there. But we're toasty, we're comfy, and we're about to have full bellies. So that's a good thing. This little tab here is leaking the most, I think. This thing is leaking a lot now. There's a toast looking almost done. I'm gonna have to flip it. Sure smells good. Man, that toast smells amazing in there, that homemade bread. Mmm. There we go. Perfect. Moving all in one piece. I didn't put any butter or oil in the pan after the bologna came out, so they're not sticking or anything too bad. Nice. Look how yellow those yolks are compared to regular eggs. They're like a deep yellow. I'm thinking those are almost ready. Look like they are to me. Yeah, I think we're going to call that ready. And not break the yolks. Not break the yolks. Must not break yolk. Must not break yolk. Must not break yolk. Haha! We did it. Didn't break any yolk. Sweet. There's our 2 eggs on there. Now we need to get the toast on. Where's our toast? There's a drip right there next to my phone. See it on the table? Okay. There's toast on there. I hear a boat close by. Someone must be hauling crab pots or lobster pots. Pretty rainy. I guess you gotta go fishing when you gotta go, I guess. Nowadays you do. Okay, we'll let that crisp up there. And we'll flip it over. Do the other side. Well, the toast is looking good. Let's check the other side here, see if she's ready. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll call that done. Good. Look at how big those slices are. They're huge. Turn our heat off. Let's get our blackberry jam on there. Ooh, damn, it's hot. Hot on the fingers. Right. Got it right on top of the oven. We are ready to feast. Alright, breakfast is ready, guys. Let's get some orange juice on the go here. Some OJ. Need some ketchup. Gotta have ketchup. I'm still kind of full from last night's burgers, to be honest. So, I'm gonna put on so much weight doing these cooking videos. I usually only eat once a day, and I have a pork shoulder steak that I want to make for you guys on a video. Barbecue it, but because it's raining so much, I may not be able to do that. So if it rains tonight, then I definitely won't be able to do it. Now let's try our bologna. Oh yes, there's some bologna, ketchup on it. Wow. The steak is bussin'. Hash browns are delicious as usual. And this homemade bread is from Irving and Goobies. They make the best homemade bread. So now we gotta try and get an egg cut up here. And the eggs are from my mother's neighbor in Red Harbor. She has some chickens and stuff at her place. And they are delicious. I'd say their names on camera, but I don't know if they would want me to, so who knows. You never know nowadays, right? But if you know, you know. And your eggs are delicious. They're really good. That's busting. So good. Try this juice. That'll work. Not too sweet. Very tasty. Especially with that blackberry jam. Yummy. So good. Little kick of sweet to it. Little nifty steak. Some lips and assholes. Very good. Mm-mm. So much rain we're getting, guys. Crazy. I'm wondering if I might have to put a tarp on it. I have a tarp here, but I don't really want to put it on. It's a pain in the butt. Especially if it gets windy. She's really starting to show the water in her seams. There's no.
I think we're getting all the rain for the entire year today. Sure looks like it. It's dripping water in here everywhere. Keeps dripping and dripping and dripping. I think I'm gonna have to put the tarp over it somehow. I don't know how long the rain's gonna last for, but I think we're gonna have to do that now because it's dumping like crazy. Okay, so I had to put the brown tarp on the roof because it's just leaking too much, way too much. But now everything is stopped from coming in that window and everywhere else.